For me, success has been finding a career that I love to do, coming to work every day, enjoying my job, enjoying the people I'm doing my job with, as well as just the response from people on a daily basis, people coming in for dinner and enjoying their meal and hearing their reactions is a really nice day-to-day success that I look forward to.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe? Do you believe?
I think it started at home with my father. He is a very good cook, and I started getting interested in food there. Between that and then Food Network kind of exploding on TV, I started watching more and more of that, and got a cooking job in the summer, and I think it started rolling from there.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe?
It's hard to say only one person. I would say there's a collection. Working with Richard I find very inspiring. He's been doing this for a long time, and I learn from him constantly, as well as the rest of the staff at the restaurant as well. People come in and out, constantly changing staff in this industry. It's the norm, and every time there's someone new coming in, you learn something new from them, and as well as just the community in Ottawa. It's very small, and you're working with other chefs pretty often. Every time you get to work with somebody new, you're learning something new from them. So the other chefs in the city and just the community in general in the restaurant scene in Ottawa is really inspiring.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe?
I think I knew in the back of my mind I wanted to cook as a career, leaving high school. I took a year off though because I thought it was a little silly to do culinary as a career. So I took the year off, I worked in restaurants. Then I decided I needed to go to college, so I took early childhood education for a year, which I enjoyed, but I was passing the hospitality unit of the school the entire year, smelling it, seeing what they were doing, very jealous that I wasn't in there. I was having a hard time getting over the checkered pants and the hat they had to wear, and I was having a hard time picturing myself wearing that for 2 years, so I was putting it off and putting it off. And finally, by the end of the year, I said, I need to take this. This is obviously what I want to do. Every time I walk by, it's all I'm thinking about. So I took the move, left early childhood, and went to cooking.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe? Do you believe?
I wouldn't say necessarily improvement because I'm here. I would say it has naturally progressed and naturally become a better restaurant. Richard's had this restaurant for 30 years and it's gone through a lot of changes. Certainly, I think we both feel that this point is, the height of its life so far. It's been in 3 different locations. This location is beautiful. It has lots of light. And Richard and I get along so well. The staff is like a family here. So I think just that whole unit really coming together makes for a really successful restaurant and business.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe?
Okay, so I'm going to be making the roasted bone marrow dish that's on the menu at the Black Cat right now. I'll start by getting out our bone marrow. This is just a bone from the leg that we've already cleaned all the meat off of, so it's nice and clean, ready to roast. And we've also brined it overnight in a salt, water, and sugar mixture. It just pulls out some of the impurities, some of the blood, and also seasons the bone marrow at the same time. So I'm going to get this going right away because it does take a few minutes to roast. I just have that there to help me hold it up. And I'm going to pop this right into the oven just as is right now for about 4 or 5 minutes until it's well on its way to finished, and then we'll dress it up in a few minutes.
Don't feel with your brain.
So I'm roasting the bone at 425 degrees. I expect it'll take about 4 minutes for the first phase. It depends, of course, on the size of the bone. This particular one is regular size. Sometimes they come a bit bigger. It totally depends on the cow. Of course, they can't be all exactly the same. In a perfect world, maybe. So this one I think will take about 4 minutes. I'll just set a timer here. And we'll wait for that to get ready. And in the meantime, I'll just explain what's going on the plate. So we're going to make, because bone marrow is so rich, a really nice acidic, flavorful salad. Normally for a vinaigrette you would have an olive oil or some sort of oil to go with the acid in the salad. But for this particular salad, because the bone marrow is so rich, I've decided to not use any oil at all. And we're just going to use a lot of acids to cut the richness of the bone marrow, which I think is really important if you're serving a dish like this. So we're going to have some parsley, which is really flavorful, aromatic, and fresh to really cut the richness. Also some radishes, a little bit spicy and for some crunch. We have some pickled shallots, which I've pickled in advance, just with a simple pickling spice, some sugar, some vinegar, and water, and a bit of salt. Here we have some capers. I've just blended them up. As you can see, you can just chop them up by hand, or you can blend them in a RoboCoupe food processor, just to get them fine, and those are going to be incorporated into our salad. For the acidity in the salad, as well as the pickled shallots, I'm also going to squeeze a little bit of fresh lemon in there. And we're going to garnish with some gherkin pickles. And this is a mustard that we make here at the restaurant. It's brown and yellow mustard seeds, and it's made with sherry vinegar, coffee, and maple syrup, which is local, which is always nice. So those will be our main garnishes. And then we've also made some brioche here, which we're going to grill up at the last minute to keep it nice and toasty and warm, just with a little bit of olive oil, and put it on the grill for a minute. And that's our whole plate. So as soon as the bone marrow comes out, we'll get started with our salad. Okay, so I'm going to get the bone marrow out of the oven now. It's ready to go. Sizzling away here. Now the scary part, picking it up and putting it onto the plate. I just like to use a towel on one end here. Place that right down on the plate. And now we're ready for all the garnishes here. So I'll start with the salad. Let's give that another little toss. And I just have a few of the fresh radishes to go on top. There we go. Add a touch of crunchy salt here. Bone. Just to finish it off. And then we have our toasted brioche. Just arrange on the side. Our mustard. And some pickles. And that's it. The bone marrow at Black Cat Bistro.